I began to realize that the mind is the first thing to become abused. That mind gets trapped, and then the body gets abused, and they find themselves trapped in a life of abuse. When working with the shelter, I realized that we could help them escape from that really ugly cocoon of abuse, spread their wings, and fly to some safety.
For at least 6,000 women in Collier County every year, the most dangerous place for them is in their own home.
I'm talking to the police, Mommy! Stop it! Mommy! Stop it! Don't take the baby! Stop it! You're gonna hurt the baby! Stop it! Could you just send the police, please?
Okay, we're gonna be there.
I've seen women punched in the face, bloodied, lacerations, belt buckle marks, hairs pulled, arms twisted, broken bones, a lot of different injuries.
His biggest thing was the head, you know, whether it be banging it against the wall or doing a lot of slapping. He would always tell me, "You're not in a domestic violence situation because I have not put you in intensive care. I don't beat you like these men beat their women."
40% of the violent crime is domestic violence crime. 28% of the women who go to the emergency room in Collier County are there because of domestic violence.
At one particular time, he took glass and started cutting my wrists. And he said he was going to try to make it look like I was going to commit suicide.
You may think that it's more in the low socioeconomic groups, but people of affluence also get abused. And that's what's probably not so well known out there.
When I moved down, I had my own car, and I had 2 homes up north, and it has nothing to do with your stature in life.
People would be absolutely shocked if they knew some of the perpetrators of domestic violence right here in Collier County.
Children are involved in many domestic violence incidents. They are like the silent victim in all of this. They're the ones that are most traumatized.
Oh my God!
What's the matter?
Something happened! Just leave me the police! Wait, I want to go see what happened, please!
Okay, the police are on their way, okay? Hello?
My stepdaddy's got the baby now.
He has the baby now. Where is he at now?
What?
Lisa, where is he at right now? Is
He's
he still in the
still
house?
in the room and got the baby.
Okay.
And he made some red marks on Mama's, on Mama's neck.
My daughter had severe nightmares as a result of what she witnessed and saw her father do to her mother.
Emotionally, it's dangerous for them, and also they get in the way. When there's a big, powerful abuser who's throwing punches and throwing furniture and throwing things around and breaking things, a little child can get in the way.
He would grab my daughters by the hair and he would throw them across the room because they hadn't cleaned it. He would kick them, slap them, call them names. He would berate them and their friends, tell them that they were worthless.
So I know she's affected because she still asks me today. And she still knows what happened 3 years later.
Children that witness domestic violence, children that are the victims of domestic violence, tend to be perpetrators of domestic violence when they get older.
I said, look what you're showing our daughters. You're showing them that it's okay to be hit around by a man? Is that what you want your son-in-law to do to your daughter? And look how you're showing our sons, that it's okay to beat around their wife? And this is what a man is supposed to be?
I have actually seen cases go the full cycle. When I was a juvenile prosecutor, I would see a juvenile who was the son of a batterer, and then later as the juvenile became an adult, see him himself in court for battering.
Children very often return to the abusive environment.
where there is domestic violence occurring. And so one of the things that I focus on when I work with children is safety planning. Every child that comes through the door needs to know how to keep themselves safe, how not to get into the middle of fights, how to call 911, who to talk to, who to go to.
911, 911, it's where you call, it's where you call. If you have a problem, if you need some help, 911, 911.
Couldn't understand why a woman wouldn't just walk out of the house and leave if her husband or somebody was beating them up.
You want to know why I stayed? Because I married for better or for worse. I was brought up that way.
I stayed 3.5 years because I didn't know how to get out of there.
Science tells us that of those who leave, that of those who are most seriously abused and those that are killed, 70% of those have already left their abuser. So it's when a victim leaves their abusive situation that she is in most danger.
They don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, they don't know how to respond.
Oftentimes a person will come in abused and the person who did the abuse is sitting in the waiting room. I'm concerned for her, for the staff, for myself, for everyone involved. I personally will pick up the phone, call the domestic shelter, speak with a counselor, and get her involved immediately.
Shelter crisis line.
I was being hunted like an animal. He had to find me. So I told my mom, I said, I'm going to shelter. I think it's the safest place.
The minute I hit the front entrance, I felt a relief over my body. And when they shut the door behind me and it slammed lock, I felt so safe for me and my kids.
There was one girl that came in a towel. Her husband had burned everything that she owned.
Not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, we had to turn 10 women away. It's 10 women, and each one of them had a couple kids. But it breaks our hearts. Every time we have to say, I'm sorry. There's no room. There's no room.
The impact of the new facility, I can finally smile because I can hardly put it into words, but the wings that we've talked about, the ability to help these women be empowered enough to fly away on their own is going to be phenomenal.
The counseling that my children and I receive from here have not only gave me back my life, but I have grown and the healing has begun.
Yes, it's very priceless. I can't begin to say. And I guess you never understand it until you've lived it.
I think I owe the shelter peace of mind. They gave me a wonderful peace of mind.
I feel good. I feel like I deserve that I'm a much better person. And I feel like I'm number one.
It takes a long time to move from a victim to being a survivor, to get a car and a job and a house and someplace to live. The new shelter will be called the Beau Venturi Home, after a wonderful woman who was a member of our board of directors who has since passed away, and the beloved wife of Mr. Ken Venturi.
Knowing that her name will always be remembered, I'm sure that when I drive up there, I won't have a dry eye. My favorite sight would be a sign out in front, all rooms available. They came up with the symbol, the butterfly. It's such a beautiful symbol. Tranquility, the gentleness of the butterfly. And that was my bow. And I think that is the shelter for abused women and children.